So if you haven't done any handstands, like standing on your hands instead of your feet, if you didn't do any of those the last couple of weeks or months, or like myself, for the last couple of 20 years, this is the video for you. It's already recording. Right to the topic. The handstand. Yes, the handstand. So that's something I'm working on and I want to share with you in my private practice. So in my private practice. So what I'm doing just for myself, the exercise I'm doing for myself, and I'm sharing this time with you. So I'm two long-term projects. One is the back bridge on the arms, and the other one is the handstand. So you see more geared towards leaning on the hands. And this doesn't happen short term. I think it's something I need to work on to make it happen. And if you haven't done a handstand in a while, maybe for you too, it's a bit of a journey to get there, if ever. But I'm looking forward to it. Or if you're like young and capable, you might also get something out of this video, this approach of like. And then on the other hand, it's nice because it's in between. So we're not lying down and we're not standing. So we're in between. We will be on our fours a lot. So if you want to start practicing while I'm talking, you just come onto your hands in any position. Just be on your hands a little bit. Just be leaning on your hands a little bit. So we have to get the wrists used to bearing weight again in this kind of way. Yeah. So coming up. So like I don't know. Did life crush you? Did life break you? And you're the type of person who's more on the floor or more on the couch and grounded, and you're trying to come up. So this is a good position to be in on all fours or on your knees, and because it's not up yet, but it's in between. It's not lying anymore. So we have to make an effort to come up. Or are you the kind of person who has too much tension, always active, cannot sit still, always standing, always running, always pushing, and you have a hard time to come on the floor? So this is also a great lesson for you, because you can come onto all fours. It's like push-ups, yeah, and you have something to do, and you don't have to lie down. So it's middle ground. I like it, middle ground. The middle ground. Yeah. Took me years to come to the middle ground. I was broken by life, crushed. So I spent many years on the floor, not many years in a row, of course, but in Feldenkrais training, in somatic education, I preferred the lessons where I just lie on the floor and roll a little bit and, be safe on the floor. But the time has come to rise, to get up. So what do we do with the hands? Let's come properly on the hands and on the knees in a standing on the knees and on the hands. So I do this every morning. That's a plain lie, of course, but often. I do this often. And then, like normally you would already be like super busy with something like camel, cat, how you call it, camel and camel. Is this a camel? How many? Camel and pig? What do you call this exercise? No, you don't have to do anything. Just be on all fours. And again, we spend time together. Like literally spend. We spend time together. Yeah, like we spend in this case on all fours. So what can we do on all fours? So you could put your left hand in any old position. Just try different positions for your left hand. And why? Maybe we could look at it in terms of stability. Are you more stable when the hands are really close, or more stable when the hands are really far? And then there's different ways to turn. You can take breaks whenever you want. And I enjoy this time to be less structured. Like in Feldenkrais lessons, it's very structured. This and this and this and this and this and this, and everything relates to each other. And then like somebody's talking you through the movement. I'm not sure if, I mean, you have an effect, but this being talked through a movement sequence, I can't handle it at the moment. I can't have anyone give me any instructions. I've been running my own business for far too long now, and I will continue, of course. But you know, when you don't have a boss, you stop getting used to taking instructions. So it's good to have a movement sequence. Okay, come back onto, so we have to be on the hands a lot, just to get used to be on the hands. And if you have done some of my lessons before, you might remember these shoulder blade lessons, where you sink your spine in between your shoulder blades, so you can play with that. So we have different hand positions, and the longer you're on your hands, so that's the thing, we immerse ourselves in this position. I have my legs crossed for the very same reason. I will have my arms crossed in a, what is this, a cobra in yoga, a cobra position. But in yoga, I think they require you to have your arms parallel. I don't know the reason for that, why they really want you to have your arms parallel. But I could think of using my cell phone in this position, or reading a book, or playing with my fingers. I enjoyed it. So even if you're on your elbows, you're propped up, there's some weight on the arms. So please do whatever you want, but spend more time on your hands right now. You could spend some time on one hand. If this doesn't work, if this, like, we have a tolerance. Tolerance means a weight we can bear. Maybe you can bear your upper torso on your hands, and that's okay for your wrists, but maybe that's too much already, so you have to shift your weight more onto your knees and start from this position. So you're more like kneeling, and you don't have that much weight on your hands, and you take more breaks. So that's the capacity. How long can we bear a certain kind of weight? And we try to increase both. We try to increase our tolerance, so we can tolerate more weight on the wrists. And probably diet also goes with this. Please make your own conclusions, which diet is supportive, which diet causes arthritis, and what you have to eat not to have arthritis, or pain, fast healing. Blood that heals the body fast. So we try to be more on the wrist and put more weight on the wrist. So of course, the further up you come, the more weight will be. The further you walk out, the more weight will be on your wrists. So, and in different positions. So, you know, there's a center line, a center, a center of the body, kind of, the myth of the center. So I don't think anybody is really straight. I mean, maybe there are people who are like really super straight. For sure there are exceptions, but most of us, I guess, we're crooked in some ways, structurally. And I'm not a fan of trying to correct it. I'm a fan of of learning and studying and trying to function well. So you can have the weight more on the right side or the weight more on the left side. Or it could be on one elbow. You know, it's a pity you can't talk back, isn't it? So you have to listen. That's as much of a conversation as we can have. Or you can, like now I'm on my left hand and my right elbow, but you could be on your left hand and your right shoulder in different positions. On your left hand and your right hand. On your left hand and your right elbow in different positions. On your left hand and your right shoulder in different positions. Or in this regard, on your left hand and on your head, neck. I spend a lot of time watching YouTube and watching other practitioners and product reviews and comedians. So now I'm on my right hand and my left shoulder, on my right hand and my left elbow. And I'm leaving it open to you to explore and to discover stuff. I mean, that's how it works. That's how you have parents and they had parents, and I don't know, was there like a guy and a girl in the beginning, or was there like a fish or a monkey? We don't know. But we developed, and we have a nervous system, we have a brain, we have these muscles and tendons and bones and all these signals running through our body, and it's built on a lineage. It's built of like a lot of years of development. We can discover stuff ourselves. So next, the legs. We need to lift the legs a little bit. We need to lift the one leg up. And one thing I would suggest to you, let's explore. So there's different ways to lift a leg. So you could either shift your weight. In order to lift the left leg, you have to shift your weight to the right to make it easy. Or we need some core stability. So everything I do also takes care of the core. So we try not to harm the spine. So try to be stable, try to be on your hands and on your knees, and don't budge, and lift your leg. Yeah, it's very hard. And the farther apart you have your knees, of course, the more difficult it is. Yeah. So there's the leg has weight, and the back needs not to buckle. The back needs to be stable, so don't do funny things with your back when you lift your leg, please. Or do whatever you want. Just be inspired to try stuff. And then the other one. And take breaks as you need. And maybe you can't do as much as we did already. Or maybe you can do a lot more. Maybe you can already walk on your hands and you just want to review what we are doing here. What I'm doing here. Can you walk on your hands? I think I used to be able to do this when I was 17. Maybe I can go back to this skill. to this ability. Okay, then we need to be able to lift one leg and lift the other knee. Whoa. Lift one leg and lift the other knee. Or lift both knees. Of course, we can't just lift off both legs, but stand on one foot and the other foot with both knees lifted. So we is more towards the handstand, isn't it? Okay, these kinds of explorations. So I'm doing this every day a little bit, and then that's the easy part. Let's move to the hard part. So the second part of this, getting used to be on the hands. This is so unstructured. I love it. You will need a door or a wall. I use a door because it's easier to clean a door than to repaint a wall. So make sure nobody's coming through the door you will be using, so you're safe. Make yourself safe. Use the door. So we have the door. This has rubber underneath, so this doesn't slip. Make sure you're safe. I think safety first. That's the most important. And then please come back onto all fours in front of your door. Have a second camera here. And then we had different ways to put the hands. So again, it's very unstructured. It's about your self-experience, your self-practice. You can put your hands in different positions. I think the original tip is to have your hands like this, up like this, really strong. I've once been to a handstand workshop in London. Oh, this was strenuous. My God, this was strenuous. Huh? I did handstands, but only for one day. Okay, so, and then lift off. So we have to walk up the door. But first, just explore the door with your leg. Of course, it's a somatic experience, of course. So please explore the door with your leg. So you start to have a feeling for the door. So you can go up and left and right. And of course, same thing with the other leg. Just to have a feeling for the door. And again, this is not like a one-day thing, so we have to work. I do work on this every day a little bit. Okay, until you can't reach up further, and then you kind of, instead of stand your foot on the floor, you have to stand your foot on the door. This rhymes. Not the floor, but the door. And then walk up on the door, and we walk up and down. So maybe you need to do this on the floor. So this should not be slippery. If this is slippery, you have a problem. You will kill yourself probably. So and then your people find you, and then my channel is still on, so that's no good. So don't kill yourself, please. Be safe. When you start to walk up, to find out how to walk up the door, walk up and down. And here, of course, it's the question, how much can your wrists tolerate? and we are going to build this, to improve this, to get used to it. And get used to the wall. So walk a little bit to the door, walk a little bit on the door. This is a nice inversion. Oh, I like it. Yeah. It is a handstand. It's not like a free handstand, but that's like a preparation for a handstand. Things that lead up to be able to do that. Left and right, and forwards and backwards, and a little bit up and down, a little bit up, a little bit more, a little bit more, and every day a bit, every day a little bit. All right, time for lunch. Thank you for watching, thank you for practicing with me, and see you in the next video.